Hey guys, Mike Pawns here. Wow, it feels good to say that again. It's been a hot minute. How have you all been in the last 5 years that I haven't been posting? I believe my last video was like asking you guys for help for like my 2DS or something. Such a corny little kid. But, it was kind of funny because none of you helped me. Absolutely none of you. But that's all in the past. I'm starting anew. I don't care about any of that. Anyways, as some of you know, there's this little gacha game on mobile devices that I am very fond of. And this game is called Dragon Ball Legends! This game's peak. That's all I'm gonna say. This game is peak. It's peak gaming. If you haven't tried it yet and you really enjoy Dragon Ball, please, you really should. But only if you have patience, because this game will get you mad, and some of the units will make you rage. Daima Forku. Oh. Anyways, speaking of units, that's what I'll be talking about today. Units that I think should be in Dragon Ball Legends, Part 1. I'm splitting this idea into several parts because I don't want this video to drag out for too long. There's so many sagas to go through. So I'd rather just stick to splitting these into parts, starting with the Dragon Ball saga. So yeah, without further ado, here's my list. Alright, so I'm gonna start off small with basic units, and then we'll slowly build up into my better ideas. So first up is Krillin, his Dragon Ball version, of course. And for some odd reason, Krillin is one of the few characters from the OG Dragon Ball saga that does not have a unit. He doesn't even have a hero unit. Like, it's that bad. Like, how can you tell me that Bulma, Chi-Chi, and Launch can all get Sparking units? Bulma having 3, by the way. But Krillin doesn't even get an EX unit, not even a hero unit, nothing. He gets nothing. That's very disrespectful. Now, even though I am upset that he doesn't have a unit, I think the most he deserves is the 1%. Yeah, I don't think he deserves anything more than that. He could be LF worthy, but I don't know. He doesn't really do much in the series. He gets packed up a lot. So yeah, I think a 1% will be great for him. Hell, even a free-to-play unit will be good for him the next time they do a Dragon Ball campaign. So yeah, that's Krillin. Alright, so next up on our list, we've got Tien. Here's another OG Dragon Ball character that doesn't have a unit at all. And he would be like such a good pick. Tien gotta be like my favorite human character in Dragon Ball, and I hate that he doesn't get enough representation in Dragon Ball Legends. I think that he should definitely get a unit. I think his best moment in Dragon Ball in general is definitely his fight with Goku for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. They could easily make him an LF. With the disrespect that they treat Dragon Ball Saga, I don't know if they will. But I don't know, they can definitely make him an LF unit, or they can just make him a 1% like Krillin. They can definitely do it. I think Tien definitely deserves it, considering he doesn't have a unit in OG Dragon Ball, I definitely think they can make my boy a unit. And as I was writing my script, I thought of this idea. They can definitely pair Tien with Chaozu, who also doesn't even have an OG Dragon Ball unit. and doesn't have a sparking either. He literally has a hero unit and a extreme unit and nothing else. So they can definitely make Tien either an LF or a 1% and pair Chaozu along with him as a 1%, either as a step up banner or as a mega rising banner. It's literally the perfect idea. This is the best idea I've ever come up with. Legends, you have to do this. Like, literally just put both of them on the team from the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, and that's like perfect right there. It's perfect, I'm telling you. Now for the next two picks, they're not really exciting, so I'm just gonna put them all into one recording. First one is Mercenary Tao, who recently got a free-to-play unit in the form of Cyborg Tao. It's not a massive choice, but you know, I think his fight with Goku should be worthy of at least a sparking. And you know, if they wanted to make him an LF, who would really complain? I don't think anybody would summon, but you know, who would really complain? I think it's a good choice. Not much to say about him. And the next few characters, actually, I think they should definitely add the rest of Demon King Piccolo's children. You know, they added I think it was Tambourine already with LFDKP. So I think it'll be cool if they added cymbal, piano, drum, ukulele, the others that I don't remember. And you know, on top of that, they can even make them a whole new tag like they did with Turles Crusher Corps. They can definitely make a whole new tag, put them all on one team, and that's the perfect team right there. So yeah, those are my few picks. Alright, we're coming down to our last few units. Next up is the 23rd Budokai Tenkaichi Goku and Piccolo. Yeah, I know they already have 1% Sparkings. They were already in the Mega Rising banner. But you cannot tell me that these two units are not worthy of an LF. That fight is hands down the best fight in all of OG Dragon Ball. Right in front of the DKP fight against Fistku. There's no way that these units cannot get an LF, because it's just such an amazing fight, and they can do so much with the LF units. You know, they can add some new animations. You know, they can do a lot. You know, off the top of my head, I can't really think of what they can do since they already made them a Sparking. But I feel like they can definitely make them both LF units. And hell, release both of the banners at the same time. It'll be perfect. You know? So they should definitely do that. And of course, our final unit on my list, I've got Ultra Demon King Piccolo. You all knew it was coming. It's such an obvious choice. They recently gave him an LF unit for the Dragon Ball campaign. And from what I heard, because I didn't summon, Legends low-key fumbled him. So I think they gotta give him another chance soon. With an Ultra, of course. And if they fumble him this time, then, well, there's no hope for DKP. So I was thinking his mechanic could be pretty simple. He could be in his older form, and he can have like a Dragon Ball unique gauge, or even an active gauge that fills up with Dragon Balls. And once whatever gauge he has is filled, he can transform into his younger self. And whether that be through a comeback mechanic like Turles and Ultra Golden Frieza, or if it's the active gauge, like you click the active gauge and it transforms and he transforms, or if it just happens automatically once you collect all 7 Dragon Balls. So, you know, Legends, I gave you a banger idea right there. You can't, there's no way you can fumble DKP this time. And that's it. So, yeah, this video was always going to be pretty short since OG Dragon Ball is short compared to the rest of Dragon Ball. And I didn't really have too many ideas considering I don't really remember most of the OG series that much. But if you guys had any ideas, feel free to comment them below, and I don't know, top comment or one of my favorites will get featured in the next video. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed my video, you know, I thank you for sticking to the end, for those of you who did. If you guys enjoyed it, and you guys want to see part 2 when it comes out, subscribe, like the video, I'd really appreciate that. And with that, I'll see you guys in part 2, where I'll talk about units from Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, peace.